Hi, everyone, and welcome to the second training recording on complex scenarios. We really just have two scenarios to go through, but just wanted to give you an idea of how to handle some of these more complex situations. So to get started, for scenario 8, or the first complex scenario, we're looking at a married individual, high incomes with a diversion, so the services are just for one person, and a private pay health insurance policy. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so I know you're looking for in-home services for yourself. There can be what's called a cost share based off of income. And it depends on what your gross monthly income is and also what your spouse's gross monthly income is. Do you first know what your gross monthly income is and also what your spouse's gross monthly income is?
My income is $1,200 and my spouse is $3,300.
3,300. Okay.
Now we
All
do
right.
have a Humana supplement of about $230
Oh, thank you for
that we'd
mentioning
like to
that.
keep.
That is good to know. That's actually something that you can deduct from the cost
Good,
share.
good.
So let me calculate that up for you really quick, and I will let you know if you're going to have a cost share, how much that'll be. All right. So and this is just a tip for and this is my thought process on this. This is just a tip if you're not in person with somebody, you're working with them over the phone. I typically like to tell them, especially when you're working with a lot of figures that's going to require a good bit of math, um, is I would go ahead and say, I need to put you on hold for a couple minutes to run the calculation. That's typically what I'll tell individuals. That way you have some space to really look at this carefully and make sure that you're, double and triple checking yourself to make sure you get this right. So in this case, because they're married and only one person is going to be in the program, we're going to do that calculation that we did on the simple calculations video. So we're going to, first of all, add both of their incomes together. So 1,200 plus 3,300. That will give us $4,500 each month. The first thing that I want to do before I do anything else is I am going to go ahead and subtract 841. That gives us $3,659 each month. Now remember that for this one, you are going to be, it's any income with the spousal diversion, it's any income that is over 3,435 is going to be the cost share. So we have 3,659. So let's go ahead and subtract out 3,435. That's going to give us around $224 cost share each month. Now, that being said, they have, remember that supplemental policy that that they mentioned, that they pay $230 each month for. So we can actually subtract that from the 224. So let's go and subtract it out. And as you're going to see, you're going to get -6, which is less than $0. So in that case, they're not going to have to pay a cost share for the services. So jumping back into the conversation, yeah, it looks like just based on what you're telling me, with that insurance policy being deducted out, you should not have to pay a cost share in the program. But again, we are providing an estimate at this point. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
All right, excellent. So moving on to scenario 9, this is somebody who has a very low income that wants services in a personal care home. All right, so it looks like to me you were looking for services in a personal care home at this point. Is that correct?
Yes, that I can't afford paying privately because they're very expensive.
Okay. Okay. Well, there is what's called a cost share and a room and board in the personal care home. And it depends on your gross monthly income. How much do you make each month before anything is taken out?
I get SSI, and that's 500 a month.
And and you said you're single, not married. Is that
Yes, I'm
correct?
single. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So with the personal care home specifically, and I'm just going into my thought process here. They're not going to have to pay a cost share because their income is less than 841. But the room and board, as you will have noted from the previous one, is around 689 each month. Um, so that is that's much more than what their income is. That difference does have to be made up. So just kind of listen as we talk through this next step. So jumping back into the conversation, it looks like to me you're not having to pay any cost share because your income is less than 841. So you won't have to pay anything in terms of cost share.
Oh, that's good.
However, yeah, yeah. However, there is that room and board is around $689 each month. That entire amount does have to be paid. I know that, and it's very unfortunate you don't have enough income to pay that 689 each month, but the entire amount does have to be paid on a monthly basis. Do you have a relative or someone that would
I've
be
got
will
a brother. I think he might be willing to do that. I'll have to call him and call you back.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, just let me know on that. I mean, we can go ahead and move forward with the screening now if you want to, or you can call
Okay,
me back
we'll
once.
do that later. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I think that pretty much sums it up. There are an infinite number of scenarios that you could potentially run into. Just wanted to give a couple of examples of more complex scenarios that can be harder to know, what to do with. Um, if you ever have any questions about some really complex scenarios, you can definitely reach out to me if you would like to. My email is mportwood@atlantaregional.org. That's mportwood@atlantaregional.org. If you have a scenario where you're just looking at the numbers and are like, what is going on? I don't understand how this cost share is supposed to work at all, because it can get even more complex than what we've detailed in these scenarios. But I think these complex scenarios should give you an idea of just how in depth this conversation can get. Um, but I think that pretty much sums up a lot of the scenarios that you're going to commonly run into with cost share. Thank you again for listening and hope you have a wonderful day.